Oh, hello, hello. So this was recommended to me. The Pathologic. I think there is two reviews for MandaloreGaming. So first, gonna do the first one. Of course, stupid. Um. Oh yeah, the link to the original is on the description. If you want to help the original creator, it would be very nice to open it in a new tab and let the video play muted while you watch my reaction to give the original creator his views and give a like too. Right? Let's go. Pathologic Classic HD review. The Pathologic HD review covers the remaster, not the remake, Pathologic 2, of the 2005 Russian cult classic. It's less of a traditional video game and more of a big war art. Oh, maybe there is on Steam. I can maybe put I can maybe put it on my ever growing wish list. Let me see. Okay, let me search it. Pathologic. Oh, there is three. There is a three. Quarantine. The three is free. And there is Pathologic Classic HD. Pathologic 2. Pathologic 2 Marble Nest. Well, first I'm gonna watch the review before deciding if I put or not. Okay, let me start. Eerie music. I like this old style of PS1, PS2, like this one. I find it really nice. There is a bunch of new games coming with this style because people started to see the truth that the thing more important is the gameplay, right? In a game, the more important would be the gameplay, not the graphics. Graphics can make it a little better, but if the gameplay and the story is bad, there is nothing that a good graphic is gonna do for the game. And I think this old style can be used in a artistic way too. So there is that too. So kinda creep. It's a horror game maybe. I'm not sure.
Right. Where do I even start? I'm no stranger to weird games, but this one is up there. This one is really up there. To put it simply,
What the
Pathologic
heck?
is a Russian game released in 2005. It garnered a lot of awards in its own country and went mainly unnoticed in the West. There are good
Okay.
reasons for that. For one, the English translation was incomprehensible. Pathologic made I Divine Cybermancy look like a Marvel movie. But then in 2015 an HD version was announced. It looked promising. Some updated visuals, widescreen support, and best of all, an updated translation. It also
Ooh,
restored content that was cut from the English version because the translation was so horrible it was unusable. Not that a lot of
nice.
people got to that
It's
anyways.
going to, with the new version, of course, it's going to bring new people to watch, new fans. Let's see if it's good. I'm not sure. It's like only on the beginning.
So that came out, and it still remains obscure. So let's get the game started to find out why. The game opens with a group of kids having a funeral for a doll.
What the
It's
heck?
odd, but not as odd as the in-game play.
Our hands are no
A funeral for a doll? Seems like some kind of plot for horror game.
longer tied. Where are we?
It's kind of interesting.
The muscular contraction is there. Means we're
Muscular
already inside
contraction.
of him. This must be one of the ventricles, right here.
What a silly place.
These are the three playable characters. Before the
What
game's
are they
even
talking about?
started, they're arguing over whose method will be best for the job. The music is creepy, and the dialogue and delivery is very performative.
Only a miracle can set us free without us having to destroy something. And I can do miracles. Just let me.
Then they do a stage freeze and it's all over. Watching this was optional. You could go to the door to choose a character at any time. So, you have the Bachelor, Haruspex.
I mean, it's kind of interesting. Maybe the developers, the people that made the game, not only the developers, the writers, the actors, the voice actors, maybe they are trying to give you more of a artistic vibe to the game or something like that.
And Changeling. You can only play the Changeling after you beat the game with one of the other characters, so I recommend the Bachelor. Time for video games.
It's the Bachelor.
After you beat the game with one.
And
so, you have the
let
Bachelor,
me see again.
Haruspex, and Changeling.
Haruspex?
You can only
What
play
the
the
heck?
Changeling after you beat the game
I don't
with
know
one of
what
the other characters,
Haruspex.
so I recommend the Bachelor. Time for video games.
Tribal chanting.
Anyways, you're a Bachelor of Medicine. You've come to a strange town to investigate a claim that a man is centuries old. From the very first second I started playing, it seemed uncomfortable and cramped. There's something strange about this architecture.
Yeah,
Even something as
very
mundane as
small
the
place
stairwell
to
seemed really creepy.
move.
It's almost like an Escher stairway, like something's off or not real about it. The very first conversation you have with someone feels the same way. The writing is flowery and your first conversation is philosophical. It's almost like you're in a dream, and it's reminding me of... Oh no. You get a map marker to the old man, and then your
I
tutorial.
don't know that game. Probably another game with
From them.
that he
Your first look
That
at the
is
town sure is ominous.
similar kind of
It's like you're about to be practicing medicine in Silent Hill, or
writing.
Morrowind. These guys also talk to you like you're in a play, and explain the game's mechanics in the same terms. There's a day-night cycle. You can miss most of the events. You want to visit important people, but not the common folk because they're extras. Okay, wait, no, don't dismiss them entirely.
The
Okay, there's
NPCs, whatever.
more philosophy discussion, but wait a minute. This is going to be a survival game, so I need to figure out the town, meet people, and survive it. No problem. I'm dead.
What the-
So do I get a game over, or...
Ooh. What the heck?
Ah, right. I didn't save. Let's try that again.
Oh.
Turns out you're never gonna meet your man. He was mysteriously murdered. There are strange things happening in a town that's weird enough already. The locals are eerie. They're usually polite, but very reserved with you. Which is understandable since you're from out of town. So now you're playing Magnum PI in a culture that's utterly alien to you. To make matters worse, rumors are swirling of a sand plague outbreak. You have no idea what the sand plague is, but the locals are terrified of it. The investigation points to a serial killer, but that's when things get complicated. People have ideas on who or what the serial killer could be. Some kind of necromancer? A local woman with a criminal past? What the hell is a step demon?
Step
In
demon?
fact, what is this city? What year is this supposed to be? The style of dress is all over the place and everyone sounds so strange.
What the heck? Let me see again.
The style of dress is all over the
Ooh. Very nice, very nice.
place and everyone's...
Maybe I play this game. What the fuck is this dressing? He has one of those things in the necks, a jacket, and no shirt. I forgot the name of this cachecol. Cachecol, but I think it's different in English. Cachecol, English, scarf. Oh, scarf. Okay, he has a scarf. He has a scarf, a jacket, and no shirt.
sounds so strange.
And this girl is kind of like a mummy, but only on the boobs and the arms. What the
I
heck?
had a feeling you would come.
The mystery keeps building. We'll come back to this.
So it's
For now, I'm going to talk about
kind
the
of a
presentation.
mystery, kind
Despite
of
being the HD edition, on a technical level, the visuals
something like
are
that.
subpar. The original game was also considered very ugly for 2005. The regular NPCs have no variation. Every mugger uses the exact same model.
Oh,
They're always
that's
carrying a
kind of
knife.
bad.
So fighting a group of them is silly, like they're all coming out of a clown car. Just the same bowl-cut bandit over and over again. All of the minor NPCs have a type, and they too have no variation. Huh. This is every drunk in the game. This is every store owner in the game. This guy? You guessed it. It would be nice for there to be minor variation, even change their clothes, unless... The fidelity of character models and just about everything else is okay-ish for 2005. That's the best I can say for all the technical stuff. It is dated, but not horribly so. In contrast, the art direction is interesting. Some parts of the town look roughly like post-revolution Russia, but then other parts look like they're from a Mongolian steppe culture. Then you have buildings that combine the styles. You also have buildings that don't fit in at
mixing
all.
everything.
For example, the giant superstructures throughout the town. They're just looming over everything. I can understand a town having a big train yard. What's not normal is your town having a giant polyhedron tower on the outskirts. The one that's breaking all physical laws and filled with children. The walls are all made of paper.
But I mean, at least it looks interesting, but I guess if you can't do nothing on it, it doesn't matter too much. But the visuals and the world building can be interesting, at least, I guess. I'm not sure right now. Maybe if you could interact with it would be better, but I mean, I don't know if you can interact or not. Let's see what it says.
With writing on it? The entire city has a really peculiar taste in artwork. The whole town seems like it's in another dimension. How about these big buildings with no roof and no walls? How does something like this even happen? Wait a minute. Damn you, Cromwell, were you here too? Not to mention all the strange non-human creatures in the town.
Oh yeah,
They have a
the
unique
monsters.
look. The whole art style does. The game builds so much mystery by just looking around, because they include areas you would expect this place to have. The strange buildings seem just as important to the city, but you don't know what they're for yet.
Yeah.
It doesn't look weird
At
to look
least-
weird. There must be a purpose.
Yeah, at least it looks interesting. Let's see
At
how
the same
the
time,
game
game's
goes.
trying to get something else out of you. So let's
Let's
talk
see. Generate intrigue, atmosphere, and make you feel uneasy.
about that second one.
Yeah, with
Back in
the
Call of Cthulhu
Carlos
video, I mentioned
and
that
the
some of
way
these older
the
games
art
have an
is.
uncanny valley effect. It's when the visuals are dated, but just good looking enough to trick your brain a bit. Pathologic fits neatly into this category. But there's something else off-putting besides the architecture. The colors. The game is drab.
Yeah,
When you're
the
exploring,
colors
it's
are
very easy
all
for parts of the city to blend together. It doesn't matter the time of day or
Gray,
the weather. Everything starts
muted,
looking brown or yellow or green or gray.
Yeah.
It's ugly and miserable, like a never-ending funeral. Then you combine that with the low foggy draw distance and it's like you're living in a haze. Even on a good day, this place seems awful. Then things get bad.
What the heck?
Really bad. And the only thing you can say is, you know what, this seems appropriate.
Yeah,
You have an
at last, it seems interesting, but depends on what the game is gonna do with it. If it don't do nothing, then it's gonna all fall
alien
down.
culture, everything looks dirty and gross. Of course the sky looks like Beijing traffic. The soundscape also seems to be off. You hear muffled sounds like dogs barking and kids crying, but it seems to be right by your ear somehow. A lot of the sound effects, especially the weapon sounds, are very subpar.
Ooh, it's always important to have a good sound effect on the attacks, on the fight, on the guns that you use. It's very important. We don't even notice it, but it is important.
However, the music is a completely different story. Some of it sounds like it's sneaking up on you.
What the heck? They are okay, I guess.
I've never heard anything quite like it. It has horns, tribal chants, opera notes, cow sounds.
Everything
It's like Genghis
mixed.
Khan made the Half-Life 2 soundtrack. A lot of the tracks are very atmospheric and kind of catchy. I wouldn't listen to it in my car, but I enjoy it for what it is. It's the biggest, strongest nail
Yeah.
in keeping the game's atmosphere together.
It's
It has
good for the atmosphere because it's how it mixes with the art, I guess, with the art style, the art direction. Did good on this.
It's a very special kind of atmosphere. The kind of atmosphere where you break into a dirty warehouse and fight 8 guys who all look like this. And then the music starts playing like a Mongolian trip-hop remix of that song from The Fifth Element.
But for me, the most important thing in a game will be always the gameplay. I kind of a purist, a gameplay purist. I kind of dislike, I mean, not dislike, but I prefer games that value more the gameplay over the story. I don't like when the game directors and the developers want to make a game to be kinda like Hollywood, you know what I mean? They want the game to be a movie or something like that. Not that you can't not that you can't tell a story with a game. It's a very good way to tell a story. I like Red Dead 2, but even though I like the game, I still prefer when a game value more the gameplay over anything. But this is a personal thing.
This game is weird. This game is really weird. Oh right, I should talk about the game part. Let's get back to our Bachelor of Medicine.
Bachelor
You've
of Medicine.
changed. Or am I imagining things?
This game is frequently described as a survival horror game. The emphasis is on survival. There's a lot to manage and do, and the clock is always ticking. There are several stats that you need to manage. Your reputation, your health, your immunity to the plague,
Reputation?
your hunger, your exhaustion, and your infection. Health is self-explanatory. Bad man hits you equals no good. Your reputation determines how people treat you. If it's bad, store owners won't trade with you. If it's really bad, city guards and even the townsfolk will try to attack you. Kill them and you lose even more. For example, you could break into someone's house, murder all the residents and their children, and rob them blind, but then people are gonna gossip. That'll just mean more trouble. But you
so
are
it's
trying to survive, so
bad for the reputation.
things might get desperate. You can increase your reputation by treating or helping the sick. But if your immunity is not high, then the infected could infect you. So when one's running at you, your instinct might be to kill them before they can infect you, but people don't like that either. You're supposed to help the sick, not shish kebab them. People do like it when you murder all of the muggers. So you shank them in the dead of night for more stuff and more reputation. But
Nice.
this comes at a risk to your health. There are very few traditional healing items, so it could be better to try and avoid combat. Let the guards handle it. He's gonna serve and protect the hell out of that guy.
So you have to be careful about your health because there is very little healing. Well, a typical survival game, I guess.
Uh-oh. To get healing bandages and other specialized items, you have to understand the hobo economy. It's easy.
Hobo
What you
economy.
do is dig through the garbage cans. Some have treasures like a broken razor blade or an empty bottle, others have nothing. So whenever you're walking around town, which you'll be doing a lot, check all the trash. Really, you should be dumpster diving at all times. Then you want to fill your bottles with water. There's a lot of places you can do that.
The typical Stardew. Stardew gameplay. Oh yeah, another game that I want to bring the gameplay. I never did the 100%. So I guess I can try to do 100 on this channel. Would be nice.
Then you go and talk to the drunks who, for some reason, have all the healing bandages. So now you can trade water bottles for bandages and tourniquets. That's just how it is, or you can get them the other way. Now you could be thinking if melee is so risky, then why not just use guns all the time? Well, I would, but guns are very rare. They also wear down and become less accurate over time, so they need repairs. Ammunition is also rare and expensive. You could go to the Kmart in the bad part of town, but there is a more obvious place to find bullets. Check the school children. They have plenty of ammunition.
What the
They
heck?
sometimes trade for dumpster items, but all kids are different. You can scam little girls for antibiotics. Maybe you randomly found a piece of jewelry while walking around. Girls give good drugs and ammo for those. This edgy kid wants your knives. This awkward kid wants your nuts. The art of exploiting children is truly powerful.
What the
You
hell?
always want the hobo economy in mind. Maybe you can find something to trade for little Cindy's Novocaine. You get food to manage your hunger. Of course, depending on the situation the town is in, the prices for food can change dramatically from day to day. Are you getting a great deal, or will prices drop 5 times tomorrow? Who knows? For dealing with the plague, there are a lot of immunity drugs you can take, but these usually damage your health and you can overdose.
Ooh.
You sleep for exhaustion, but now your hunger is going back up. Some food items might affect your immunity or hunger negatively.
Bro.
Then there's dealing with the plague. If you don't know how to cure it, you can only manage it.
What the
For
hell?
the love of God, do not get infected.
So
It will-
much shit to deal with.
Oh God, it's here. You can find gear to increase your protection, find better gear, get your gear
In this
broken,
photo
get
of
it
the
fixed.
guy.
It's almost an immersive sim. The problem is the execution. The idea of solving a mystery while maintaining all these stats is great. That's what the last game was about too. The thing
Yeah,
is,
the
the
idea-
gameplay itself just isn't fun.
Oh,
The
that's a bad thing for a video game. The most important thing in the gameplay. If the gameplay isn't good, hey man.
That is very floaty and awkward. It's hard
Yeah.
to tell the reach of your weapon. Guns quickly become inaccurate, making the hitboxes seem incorrect. It makes you want to wait until the enemy is right in front of you before firing so you don't waste any of your bullets. The worst by far are
makes
the rats
sense.
because
Oh!
they can give you the plague. Melee with them
That's
drove
some
me crazy and it took me a long time
big
to
rats.
reliably kill them that way. You can also sneak around and I honestly have no idea how that system works. I can risk shots here because they'll never see me. The mechanics are there but awkward like it's an early building.
Kinda
Sometimes
bad.
the AI becomes silly, sometimes it just shuts down. When it is working, they mainly charge at you and swing. Even then, it wasn't uncommon for the pathfinding there to go nuts too. It's just not enjoyable. A weapon that might bring variety, like a shotgun, just feels like every other weapon. It doesn't feel like a big step up.
Yeah.
You are risking a lot in combat,
The
but
shot
it's just
seems
so
the
poorly
same.
done that you don't feel its weight as much. Plus, you can avoid it by just running into a nearby building. Still, this isn't the worst part of the game. Not even close to it. Here's a good 90% of Pathologic.
Walking around with a kinda nice BGM, but that gives some atmosphere for the game, but nothing happening. And nothing again. A different BGM, at least.
Oh.
And more walking around. Abandoned city, or it's a normal city? I'm not sure. Oh, it's probably a normal city, but it looks
Yep, still going.
abandoned. And that demon running around. Nice. With a difference. Oh, the rain sounds kind of good.
You are going
I
to
like
do so
to-
much walking. You might have thought
Ever
this-
since I was kid, I always took rain baths. When I was 4 years old, my dad would take me out to play football on the rain with him. So sometimes when I rain, I just get a chair and put where I can sit and catch a rain on myself. So I really like. I am a pluviophile. I think that's the name. It's the name to people that love rain. I think it's pluviophile the name. So always when there is rains in games, I always get excited to see how it goes. How's the sound? How's the feeling of it?
The example was long. I don't think it was long enough. You can't run and drain exhaustion, you just walk. Going through garbage isn't something you do on the side, it's something to do to give you sanity. You take a trash break, back to walking. This is why the game has remained so obscure. All this walking. You have
Walking
12 days to
around
survive, and each
and
in-game
nothing
day
to
is
do.
roughly 2 hours. The games I've seen people complain about being walking simulators are usually very short. In my playthrough
Oh
of
yeah,
Bachelor,
makes sense.
I did a lot of side quests, but not all of them. Do you know how long it took me to beat it?
What the fuck?
If you can't get into the story of the game, don't play Pathologic.
Yeah.
There's nothing for you here.
I'll
I
probably
don't mean
not
that in a derogatory
play.
way. From my perspective, the story is the only possible thing that could keep someone playing this game.
Makes
Is the
sense.
atmosphere and music great? Absolutely. Can it carry a game that long on its
No.
own? No. I'm completely fine ignoring everything else in a game if the gameplay is fun. If
Yeah.
the story and writing is good, then yeah, I can forgive some things being subpar.
True.
This tested my mentality of that to the extreme.
But
I didn't know
the
how to
only
word
thing this game has is the atmosphere, and I still don't know about the story. It's probably gonna. Oh yeah, the story is spoilers later.
this. Then this one man summed it up perfectly. Ah, Pathologic. Great
Great
atmosphere and
atmosphere.
story propping up gameplay that is slow, boring, and endlessly frustrating. What a terrible game. It's great. Yeah, that's exactly right. This game is mundane and slow. It makes Stalker look like Ikaruga. But it's really captivated me. That's a good word for it. It's holding me captive to walk down all these roads. I usually only lightly talk about the story in a game, because usually I'm hoping that someone's going to play it themselves and come up with their own conclusion. But this time
Makes
it's so
sense.
impenetrable that I'm going to get more into it. I'm not going to talk about spoilers yet, I'll warn you. Back to The Bachelor. Every day you'll
Okay,
have a new
now
main mission, and
you're gonna
also
lay a
side
little
missions.
more.
You have an in-game day to complete them. Naturally, your main mission matters the
Let me
most.
see. The morning of the second day has come. Infected yesterday, died yesterday 11, gone missing 9, death, total death 2, 22, currently infected 21. It all ends in less than 11 days. So you have to find a way to save the people, maybe?
Most. The Bachelor has several characters in town who are bound to him. Their survival is crucial for getting the proper ending. If you fail your mission or don't complete it before the day is over, one of your bound will die. Depending on how far you're into the game, it could be possible to still get the proper ending. Were they significant for things to come? Maybe. I don't want to find out. On the other hand, you can completely ignore the side missions. Unlike most games, these aren't always rewarding. You might end up paying $2,000 out of pocket for something that's not worth it. Some cheap items and maybe some more background on a character. The side missions can have several outcomes besides failure.
Holy shit,
Some might give you
these
rare
guys
items,
look
some might give you
strange.
nothing at all. Even if you don't finish them, they are worth looking into, because there are angles. Every character has an angle. It could be for good, it could be for evil, greed, whatever. The point is that characters will lie to you, not in a video game fashion like you're gonna get ambushed in some building. Rather, it's the purpose to what you're doing. If you're looking into an event, people will have different
What the
details.
hell?
The truth
Doggy head. A puppet dog.
is in what lines up. You learn there are 3 powerful families who have been vying for control of the city for years. So then you start to wonder what's really a part of their culture. Is there really a Shabnak step demon? Or is this their version of a drop bear? Wait, maybe there's a demon? The more you learn about the people, the more you learn how to play them yourself. It's possible to fail a main mission and some side quests just by revealing too much in a conversation.
It's possible to fail a main mission and some too much in a conversation. What the heck? Interesting at least, I guess.
If you know enough and the timing is right, you can call them out in a lie. When do you play dumb? When do you press the investigation? Not only do you need to figure out a bizarre culture, you also need to figure out how not to get played by the people using it against you. So you have a lot to think over walking around the town. I still think it's far too much thinking time.
Yeah.
Then the play.
So I guess this is the interesting part of the game. The mystery, the detective thing.
Big hits. Now things are even more complicated. Who's really helping you to try and solve
What
this
the
situation?
hell is this? Some kind of insect? A bear? A bird? Some kind of insect, bird? Something like that? Executor. Or maybe it's just a mask.
Who's using the plague to make a power play? What supernatural forces are really going on? Every night there's an optional mime performance at the town theater. The thing is, the characters talk about what happened that day and foreshadow possible futures. How can that be possible? Sometimes I understood what these plays were foreshadowing. Honestly, I have a really good feeling about the army coming to town. My gut feeling just tells me that it's gonna be great. Some of the other plays, well, I had no idea what they meant. The game has big twists, but sometimes they twist again. On one day you're playing the Thing, trying to figure out who might be a shapeshifter. On another you might be out in the wilderness looking for answers. All the walking across town, all the awful fetch quests, yeah, they're still there. They even pull out an identical twin logic puzzle at one point. It hooked me in hard. Everything that's horrible is still horrible, but I could tolerate it. They even lampshade how slow the game is. This work is neither very time-consuming nor mundane, and it's definitely more than a mere errand. It's
I
a very
guess
important mission.
it's writers and the developers that stuck with the vision that they had for the game, even though it would be a detriment to the game overall. They stick to the idea of making a slow thing to play, I guess, something like that. I can respect that. I can respect a writer, a developer that will stick with his vision, even though he knows that it will make less people play and less people like the game.
It's a marathon of a game. It did give me a lot of answers when I beat it, but even more questions to wonder about. Then I realized that after all of that, there were 2 more characters.
Oh yeah.
What? After all that walking, all that everything, you want me to do it again?
Shank.
I mean, what
Shank
kind
the
of
guy.
psychopath would actually... Okay, the Haruspex is a little different. Dangerous.
Haruspex.
Unlike the Bachelor, he's from the town. He's returned from studying medicine in the capital. Unfortunately, now he's the town's #1 suspect for the murder. Due to being wanted, he starts the game with very low reputation. Most of the town wants him dead. In fact, there are a lot of events that will make your reputation go down. Take his very first quest, which is to go out into the wilderness and murder a child.
What the
He's very much the hard mode character.
the
Very first quest.
the
which is
doggy
to go
head is the boy using a mask.
out into
Okay.
the wilderness and murder a
I
child.
thought it was some kind of creature, magical creature, something like that. I did not notice the body. I thought it was kind of a magic puppet or something like that.
He's very much the hard mode character. I'm still not sure why you can play him from the beginning. With your low reputation, you can't trade from the start. You do have another option. See, the worm creatures have a very
Oh
peculiar
yeah,
way
there
of
is these
guarding.
monsters.
It involves human blood. So if you win a fight with somebody and have a sharp object, you can harvest their organs. Coming from the
What
Bachelor,
the-
this is an extreme change. The hobo economy has now extended into the illegal organ market. In step culture, you have to be born into a certain caste to open up a body. So the organs are really only illegal because people don't like you. Trading organs with the worm people for plants is very normal. These are desperate times, so you might have to take desperate measures. I
Ooh,
got
that was a
5
nice
kids to
knife
feed.
in the back.
Besides healthy organs, you can also get infected organs.
It's kinda
The
looked
Bachelor had a lot
nice.
of trouble with that
I don't
one.
know about the
You know,
sound. The
cultural
sound
law
is very
trouble and all
important
that.
on the
You can
gameplay.
explore around in the wilderness to collect plants. Sometimes you find a hotspot or a trail of them. Usually it's a needle in a haystack. I mean, Jesus Christ. Can't pick up that one. Which plants
What
can I
the
pick
hell?
up? I don't know anymore. You can find multiple recipes that all make the same thing. Until later. Then you can make cool stuff. This is neat, but I honestly wish they restricted you more. You can still dig through the trash and do other stuff the Bachelor did. The one thing you don't get is his special eyeglass which detects the infection. If you walk slowly, you won't have a problem with that anyways. Wait, did I say walk slowly? Those clouds will chase you, which you should expect when the cloud is made from screaming human skulls.
What the
The biggest distinction is how the characters treat you and the missions.
Every time he
Bachelor-
he shows a new thing strange.
does learn a lot of town lore, but not very deeply. He's very scientific, rational, and set in his ways. Initially, he's wanting to learn about the culture, not learn from it. So of course people don't want to bother. But the Haruspex is a local, and those who do trust him, really trust him. They reveal things the Bachelor never learned. Open with information he struggled to get. Admit they're lying to the
Nice.
Bachelor. It's all running in parallel. You're getting a more complete picture of the narrative. You're learning the deeper parts of the town's
Nice.
lore. You participate in their rituals
What
and
the fuck?
sacrifices. Learn about their worship of bulls. Many of the locals believe the whole world rests on the back of a bull. The Bachelor dismissed this stuff, but now you're part of it. Even some of the plays which seemed like nonsense before, now I can get what's going on. You have a new set of bound, and you'll learn more about characters who you barely talked to before. You can even talk to the Bachelor like the Bachelor talked
Oh.
to you. The parallel narrative is really cool. But everything that was bad before is still bad, and in
Yeah.
some cases even worse. Sure, the combat is still awful, but there's a big chunk of main missions that are filler, tedious, or both. I'll open the door if you bring me 50
The
vitamins.
patience to go through all this and still, and then later make a video. Man,
Pills, the ones that a shop owner might have a dozen of if I'm lucky. The kid might have 1 to 3. How about a dozen or 15? 50. Bring 30 clips of rifle ammo. How about a he went that away quest? Just going around asking where someone is only to end up right in the beginning where you started. Then you have 3 days of time trial missions. I thought this was already a time trial. There's even an awkward boss fight. It's like they were trying to find ways to stretch it out more than it needed to be. It's like they had ideas of who the Haruspex should talk to and what
Minotaur.
about, but they didn't know how to get them from point A to point B, so they just made some stuff up. The thing is, you still go from point A to point B, but now with extra errands. One day something interesting might be happening. The next day it's a scavenger hunt. A good half of this is really good, but the other half is wasted potential. With all that said and done, I can't talk much about the third character yet. Without saying too much, it does
yeah.
have interesting ideas, but it feels even more rushed than this was.
okay.
Go to that house. Are they bad? Yes or no? Repeat. Hi, doggy. Okay,
Oh,
so now
that is
I'm
a
gonna
doggy
talk
show.
spoilers. If you don't want them, go to here.
It's okay. Let me hear it.
You really want to stick around for this, huh? Alright. The time in town changes the Bachelor. He's
Makes
just trying to
sense.
protect these people and find the cure to the plague, but things keep getting in his way. The customs interfering in his research, the rampant corruption, the power games.
The monsters. The monsters. The killing of people. Even though they are muggers, we still killed. Infect
His
some
hope is that
people.
the army might sort things out, but that becomes a slaughter. Even the military has factions breaking it apart. It's all
Ooh.
a mess. He's seen the town go from full of life to a war zone to basically empty. He's understandably lost his faith in humanity from this.
Yeah.
So what would he have to turn to? The polyhedron, the impossible structure separated from the town by a river. In the last days of the game, your map will begin to change, showing a new
Ooh.
angle of the city. It starts to match his investigation of the plague. He finally has it figured out. There is no step demon. The structure was put into the ground deeper than any building before it. The locals made claims that blood would pool around its support spike, but it wasn't blood. It was infected groundwater. The plague comes from the
Makes
earth
sense.
below the town. It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
And this amazing structure protects the people inside of it from the plague. After everything the
Wait,
town
let me hear
blood
again.
than any building before it. The locals made claims that blood would pool around its support spike, but it wasn't blood. It was infected groundwater. The plague comes from the earth below the town. It all makes sense now. And this amazing structure protects the people inside of it from the plague. After everything the town did to the Bachelor, there's only one thing that makes sense now. The army needs to shell this town to the ground. The structure may have inadvertently caused the plague, but we need to keep it. It's a miracle. So the town gets shelled. No more city, but we get the structure. The locals have several subplots that span an intricate web. I'm not going to delve too deeply into those, but instead focus on the main themes of the game. Now our first word of the day is contradiction. So much in the game contradicts each other.
Ooh.
In Russia, the game is titled Plague Utopia. The word plague doesn't always refer to disease. It can just mean destruction or calamity. But a utopia is a perfect world. Happiness, free for everyone forever, that kind of thing. So it would be destruction, perfection. How could those complement each other? Let's look back at the game. The town is a culture of a nomadic steppe people, but also industrialized. The musical lyrics are very tribal, but most of the instruments are electronic.
True.
An infection that destroys all life, but a building that can make your dreams come true. Tradition versus progress. You're a doctor who kills to survive. The game acknowledges it. How can the plague and the structure complement each other? There's an argument that what's been happening is harmony. Some live, some die, that's nature, but now it's taken to an extreme. There are characters who believe what's happening is the road to utopia.
With all the errors that this game has, at least it's interesting on its own story.
They believe the plague to be a physical law, almost like the plague is a kind of Newtonian reaction to the structure being built. A reality-breaking wonder is met with a reality-breaking tragedy. Well, there is all that theater stuff. The philosophy is summed up like this. There is a top in Utopia, but don't let the word deceive you. It's all about what's down below. It requires dirt. There are arguments that it can exist, that it shouldn't exist. Is it really perfect if it's causing suffering too? And that's when I realized, how perfect is it that it's filled with kids? Sure, you can dream of a perfect world as a kid. Then you think about it when you're older and have more life experience. Do you think it's possible for everybody to have a perfect ideal world without anybody else being left out? Alright, Merry Christmas everybody. Okay, so if you didn't pick it up, our second word is utopia. This is starting to feel like a bleak Pee-wee's Playhouse, so I'm not doing the words anymore. There's a lot of ways to interpret it. The tower could represent childhood innocence, and the town can represent
There is still the third character.
growing up. The infection could be progress drowning out tradition, or vice versa, I don't know. The universal law thing would explain why the buildings and the streets themselves have
Progress or change?
scabs and signs of sickness on them. The roads in Massachusetts are just like this. There are criticisms of lives being viewed as disposable, which is pretty common for Russian games. There is one other big thing I want to touch on. But what about the other character? While his route is kind of blander, he does have some reveals. His map also changes, showing the town resting on a bull. The cattle processing abattoir has a second purpose, taking the blood from the cattle. They claim to pour it into the veins of the world and they can extract it warm whenever they want. Then it suddenly came to me.
What the heck?
Why did the worms need blood for farming? The caste permitted to cut open bodies is related to the one who can dig into the earth. Inspired by the Bible, Puritans wanted to build a city upon a hill. In Pathologic, maybe, just maybe, they tried to build it on a bull. Or the utopia is a bad idea and we're feeding it our children. After investigating and mulling it over, it becomes apparent that the blood beneath the town was poisoned. He can make a cure using special blood from beneath the town, but the disease seems to be coming from the tower. Or it could have been this guy's fault. I don't know. Anyways, he has the exact opposite
Kinda convoluted.
solution. Destroy the tower and save the town. So you do. The kids love it. It could also be implying technological regression or stagnation, but I'm not sure. So here's the kicker. You need all of your bound to survive. However, you can also heal the bound of other characters. This means sacrificing your rare plague-curing items. This is a pain to pull off. If you save the bound of another character, you can choose their ending, and something else more important happens. The powers that be send you a letter inviting you into the polyhedron. What could it mean?
Oh, animation for this? Holy shit, it looks so fuck strange.
What's that on the right? Is that... Oh no. Oh god, no. Not after all this. Please don't, I beg you.
What the heck?
Oh no.
Don't be upset, Benatoy. He's also nice.
Look at our magic sandbox. Isn't it crazy? Everything's alive inside of it. Breathe. Keep in mind, You see this after playing it for 20 to 60
Bro.
hours. This is the big reveal. The town is a magic sandbox. It's a game kids made after a funeral to cope with loss. A funeral for someone who died of the sand plague. Oh, my head. The hero has been deceived. It was vain. It was all in vain. The hero is but a puppet. Wait a minute. This is written like a funny tragedy in a play. It's mocking. There's something to this. Well, I'm already in this deep, and now you are too.
Yeah.
What happens when you
Let's
say
see.
all of the bound? Well, the same thing as usual, except afterwards you get an invitation to the town theater from the people who executed the whole thing. Time to find out. Sure, you can take my coat.
Bro.
Oh my god. These are the stand-ins for the developers. You can argue with them about the game and your role in it. You can ask who they are, but you already know. They're a collection of poorly rendered polygons on a screen. Your character may be a toy, but aren't the children who made the town a doll too? They made a mocking it was all a dream ending just to ask you, why would you be mad it's all a dream? You knew from the moment before you even played that it was all made up. A story-driven game can't give you true freedom because, yeah, everything you do is already predetermined, all the variables. You already know that no matter what you play in the back of your mind, but here it's bringing it to the forefront. After being so invested in the game, this blew me away. What a perfect trap. Someone would only play through the misery of this game for the story, and even then they pull the rug out from under you. I hate this, but I really like it. This is stupid, but it's brilliant. Inevitability. Wait, I thought we stopped doing that. Your fate was sealed from the first screen in the game. Inevitability and fate are constant themes through the game. I've seen this theme in a lot of Eastern European games before. It doesn't mean everyone there is sad, it's just a different cultural mindset.
But to get to this, to all this response, he had to endure 20 hours of walking around and the bad combat and the talking to people. It's, as I said, I respect the choice of the developers and the writers that stuck with the vision that they had for the game, I guess. But it's seems kind of like a hassle to get to this point.
And boy, did Pathologic set my mind somewhere. The game constantly saying that it all ends, random characters foreshadowing the godchildren. It was hammered into you from this constantly saying that it all ends, random characters.
Like our town, we are one big family. But sometimes I get the feeling that we are controlled by our unseen power, our actions, but fiction.
Foreshadowing the godchildren. It was hammered into you from the start. You just didn't know what it all meant yet. Yet there's still another pressing question. What about the Changeling? Gotta
Oh
play that
yeah, there is this one. Even I forget about it.
one. Yep, here I am. I know it's all a lie, but I'm still here. Oh, Path of Logic. So the English title had a meaning too. Anyways, in this fresh hell you play a girl who wakes up in dirt. Your reputation will be falling no matter what, so that's nice. You're a little girl, so the garbage cans look bigger. I think that's a positive change. I don't know. Your hands have magic healing powers, so that helps you get your reputation back up. You can even cure the plague, but you could get infected yourself, so be careful. Of course I can heal you. Come, my son. Feel the power of...
What the heck?
Turns out it might instantly kill sinners. Okay, let me try and heal this sick man then. Nope, okay.
He's a
I can only
sinner.
do it on the people with a really, really contagious disease. The town is only a month old. Yeah, I know. Good luck in the SCP dungeon. The things being revealed now were already revealed by the other two characters. In fact, I was thinking about those ones more. Maybe the world is supposed to be a bowl, and that's why there are scabs on the ground. The Changeling can't use normal weapons, only this special revolver. I diagnose you with dead. I made up a twin sister for the killings, but maybe she's real now? You have a mind power to force people to tell the truth to you, but it's all really minor details at this point. The tower is the dreams of children, etc. There's really not much happening. Oh, I can make the cure to the plague with my hands. Wait, wasn't I doing that? I'm thrown off. The polyhedron is an ideal, yeah, we know. Tell Volgan that I can save the town and the tower. Now
nothing
people
new
need to
with the
periodically
girl,
sacrifice
with
their
the
blood to keep the
Changeling.
town and the tower preserved. So there will need to be constant sacrifice to maintain a balance between tradition and progress. Okay, I get it. Our gods are children. Look, man, you gotta believe me. It's all a lie. So the Changeling caused the plague, but lied about having a sister who can heal, but then the healing sister lied about the Changeling being real, which made her real? Yeah, I'm gonna do this again. Guys, what's going on here? Okay, so the Changeling is both the protagonist, but also the plague, which is the contradiction, you know. One thing's healing and destroying, and it's all together, but now it's in the character.
Oh yeah.
Hey look, that's a good question down there. Why Changeling? Yes, tell me, please tell me why I just played this character. Well, initially we were going to rest content with just the destruction, but then we quickly slapped together a different ending. They didn't plan anything, they were rushed in dev time? Laugh it up, you and me, just laugh it up. I'm not playing the Void for at least a year? No more weird Russian games for at least a year? Here's my grand finale, my conclusion. Pathologic
Definitely
is about walking around picking up trash.
interesting
This
game,
is hard,
I guess.
and it's not fun, and it was made with that intention. While I can't quote it verbatim, the developer basically said games can be more than just being fun. They achieved
That's
that.
true.
I will never forget this game. The story, the setting, and the writing are fantastic. The game has so many interesting ideas.
But
It might
personally,
also be the most boring and mundane game I've ever played. It's a
I like more the
contradiction.
games
At the
that
time of this video, it's ludicrously cheap.
gives
If you're
more
interested but don't want to deal with all the
value
walking,
to
I would still encourage you to get
the gameplay, because I think it's the most important thing in games. But I agree. You can use games as a medium to try to tell a story, I guess. To tell a story or say a message that you want to say, like these devs did.
it, and here's why. The same developers are working
But if they did that in a game with a good gameplay, would be much better, because people would have played it. It's not everybody that's gonna go through 20-60 hours of gameplay to try to see what the devs are trying to say to people. If I want to read something, to read a story, I think I don't know you guys, but I prefer to read books, right? So yeah, I agree with them that you can use games to tell a story, but I still am the type of person that think the most important thing should be the gameplay. But it was a nice, interesting thing that these developers made. So respect to do them.
complete reimagining of the game, changing and improving the stories of some characters, updating the visuals, and most importantly,
Oh, let me
the
see.
game. Still encourage you to get it, and here's why. The same developers are working on a complete reimagining of the game, changing and improving the stories of some characters, updating the visuals, and most importantly, cutting down the walking. It has a free demo out called The Marble Nest. Check it out. The thing is, this game is going to be episodic. It was going to be one big game, but then the economic crisis in Russia caused the deal to fall through. The first episode will be about the Haruspex and not the Bachelor. They might not be in trouble, but it's enough to get me worried.
Oh yeah, because the Haruspex is the person of the town, so it makes sense to start with the person that is already on the town. But as he said, the Haruspex was more difficult to play.
The story of the original game is very similar to Darkwood, artists turning into game designers. They had to cut a lot, so I'd like to see what they can do when they realize their ideas better. This is a hard game to recommend, and if I did, it would mainly be for the Bachelor. I'm really torn on this. I don't think I can keep a good conscience and tell people to play this. You know
Yeah,
what
I
you're
don't
in
think
for.
I'm gonna play.
So that's the video. See you next year with, something.
Oh yeah,
Thanks
that is
for
the
watching.
part 2.
And thanks to all the
That's
people
how
making this
you
possible.
react to it.
I guess I will end up
another
using
day.
that community post thing, since when I said I'd only post the updates and the other stuff, people didn't like that. So before the new year, I'll post a big thing of plans going forward. Okay, let's do some questions. How did you get a larger than average Eastern European viewer base, Tavarish? I don't know.
Tavarish.
It might just be more vocal. This was by far the most requested game I had this year, but I had to wait until I had proper time to put into it. And the other one, have you considered DOS game videos? I've got some ideas. When can we expect reviews of console games? This upcoming year. I have some ideas. If a game has a steep learning curve, do I try by trial and error or look for some kind of beginner guide? Trial. The last time I kept using a guide for a video was for Aurora. That game had a bonkers
What the
interface,
hell?
so I kept having to look up what I was trying to do because I couldn't find it. I think it's still getting ported. Any more game reviews with the series? Yeah, there is one in particular I want to do so I can complain about the remaster. The second game is also good and has a really cool DLC I don't see people talk about much. Alright, I'll have more soon. Have a Merry
Okay,
Christmas.
that's the end. Oh, there is still one more thing. Let me hide. No,
can't
there
believe I
isn't this
played
new
all that.
option to
Did I get
hide the
pranked?
things.
Why has every Russian played this? It's never like a Russian jet set radio no one's heard of. No, it's always stuff like this. I've got to get out of here.
Okay.
Finally. Real games.
What the? What the fuck? Okay. That was Pathologic Classic. There is another video, I think. Oh, it's here on the side. Pathologic 2 review. I'm gonna do another day. I have other videos to see. Okay. If you like it, please give a like, comment something, and subscribe. Maybe recommend something. I don't know. Bye bye.